5 things you need to know to run your Airbnb business in 2021. So the upside of any Airbnb business is always the profit. Done correctly, this model, whether you're doing rent to rent or whether you own the properties and you run them as Airbnb units, the upside's always the profit. It's an incredible way to create some great cash flow. I've got many stories to tell, but 2-bed terraced houses making £4,000 a month. We've had, long bookings worth, 18-20 grand for sort of 4 or 5 months in some of our houses. And, there's loads of money stories out there. And it's the main reason why we get into this. And it's the main reason why a lot of property investors are switching their standard tenancy properties into this fantastic strategy known as the Airbnb formula. Now, it's not all good, nothing's easy in life, and you kind of just expect it to all be rosy. So let's also look at the downsides of this as well. I think for me, the guests can be a downside. I always work on the 80-20 rule, so 80% of guests are actually spot on. 20% of them are going to disrespect your places. They're going to have parties. They're going to just be a bit of a nuisance, leave, damaged items and not tell you. And, but that is part of the game, unfortunately, and just something that you have to live with. And you just factor it into your costs, and then it becomes part of the operation. But overall, 80% of guests are spot on, and, the profit that you make far outweighs the hassle that the 20% will give you. So nothing really too much to put you off if you haven't already got started, but it's just something to consider that you will have to deal with as you go through your journey. Lock boxes, no matter what lockbox you have on, somehow guests can't seem to put the code in, and things like that just really frustrate you, but you've just got to deal with that. As you grow, then your business in the UK will need to become VAT registered, and obviously that then does take a bit of your profit out. Right now the VAT rate's 5%, but it was previously 20%. And I wouldn't again let this put you off, because what tends to happen is hosts, we all have the same VAT threshold typically, so especially the bigger players, and they own the majority of the stock, so they'll then put the prices up to kind of factor in that additional cost. So naturally the prices will raise on all of the guests across the UK, and ultimately you kind of soak that cost in. So it's not something to put you off and say, oh, when I get the VAT threshold I'm going to stop, or I don't want to do it because I'm going to have to pay VAT. It shows that you've actually got a really good operation going on, and that you're doing well for yourself. So just bear it in mind when you are doing your analysis that at some point you are going to need to pay VAT, and done correctly you'll hit the VAT threshold very quickly. It was a matter of months before I started to until I hit that threshold, and then had to push on. Corporation tax, again in the UK, 19%, and something that you need to factor into your figures as well. So it's all well and good analysing the deal, but you've got to make sure that you've got all these elements factored in as well. And if you don't factor them in, then when you get to year end, or when you get to your VAT thresholds, all of a sudden your operation might have been too tight margins, and now it's going to make nothing, and you're going to be in a bit of a problem. So for me, from day one, make sure you're factoring all this into your analysis, and where your business is going. The upside of Airbnb for me, coming back to the guests and being disrespectful, is they have a thing called the host guarantee. So it is the only channel that has this, so Booking.com and TripAdvisor and a lot of the other channels don't. But Airbnb, as long as you file your claim quickly and you can evidence that they've damaged it, and you can evidence what it's going to cost you to put it right, then they will pay you out on the host guarantee even if the guest refuses to pay. So you're not out of pocket, you can get the damage fixed, you can get the items replaced, and then obviously you can kick on with your business. That is why Airbnb for me is one of my preferred channels, because it gives you that extra security, and it allows you to host and sometimes take on a booking that you may not ordinarily take. Sometimes those bookings can work out absolutely fine, and therefore you're not giving the profit away that you might have once before, where you might have declined the booking because you didn't like the look of the booking, or just something felt a bit wrong. So the host guarantee is an incredible thing, and I personally don't know how Airbnb continue to make money offering the host guarantee, because sometimes the claims are big. The biggest one I've put in is about £1,300, and they paid out no problem at all. Submitted the receipts and it was there, done and dusted. So I don't necessarily know how it works in the back end. I'm sure there's an insurance policy backing it, but for us as hosts, it gives you confidence that you can kick on. But that being said, Airbnb, great business to be in. You will make more money than running them as an AST. The most profitable line per item in my business is my owned serviced accommodation units, and it makes more than my owned HMOs, and it certainly makes more than my owned ASTs. And my rent-to-rent business as well continues to cash flow very, very well, which allows me to buy more assets. So the whole thing just works as a cycle. So it's a great business to be in. If you want to understand how the rent-to-rent model works a bit more, there's plenty of videos on my YouTube channel. Check out in the description as well. I've put a few links for you. And if you want to just get stuck into more of the Airbnb formula that's worked so well for me, head over to my Instagram page. In my bio there's a link. Official Ryan Luke is the Instagram page, and you'll be able to download the Airbnb formula ebook, as well as a service accommodation webinar and loads of other great stuff as well. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you get a notification every time we launch a new video. Have an awesome day.